it's an unlimited scalable business. Literally, anytime you want to make more money, you just scale more. Man, every eBay account is worth $500 to $1,500 net profit is the way that I look at it. I just need to create another eBay account that's going to create, $1,000 a month.
It's gonna change up the whole game. There's a better picture for this, and we were talking about in the last meeting. As people like figure out the right prompts, like the whole image game this is gonna be the most powerful for sniping and product substitution. I'm shocked at the technology that's available today.
If I could purchase an eBay account for $500 or $1,000 that was warmed up, I'd do it all day long because I know in 6 months that's easily worth $500 to $1,000 a month in net profit.
Dan, how you doing, bro?
Doing good, brother. Been a
How you
while.
doing? You bet. So, Mr. OG Dan, give us an update. What's new with you, man?
Living the dream, brother. Um, kind of afraid to jinx myself. Things are running quite smooth. So I hit $100,000 in revenue this month. So
Nice.
rocking it pretty good.
Let's go. Good, good. How many accounts you running now?
7 accounts.
Nice. Very
Yep,
good.
yep, yep.
Uh, Dan, did you try the new the image thing that I told you about?
It's so funny. I was so excited as we were chatting, and I just have not gotten to it yet. But that's definitely on my list next week. It looks like we're
Mhm.
gonna get rain all next week, so I'll be spending some time in the office playing.
Yeah, let me just show it to you real quick because this feature was you're the one who requested it. So I'll just give you like an idea of and funny enough, I sold a couple of them with the new AI images too.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
Yeah, this is the AI image, and then
Oh yeah.
I
Mm.
sold this one. It was it's cool. It works. It works. Let me just show
Well,
you
I'll
real
tell
quick.
you, if anybody does Facebook Marketplace, I would think this would be huge for that because
100%.
they want the images that look more real than stock images.
Right, right. So this is the Amazon image, and then you just click the generate button, and then it's gonna go ahead and just generate the picture for you.
Yeah, dude, tell me how wild that is.
That's
I love it.
freaking wild, dude. I'm
I love
telling
it,
you,
man.
it's gonna change up the whole game. There's a better picture for this, and we were talking about in the last meeting. As people like figure out the right prompts, like the whole image game this is gonna be the most powerful for sniping and product substitution. I'm shocked at the technology that's available today. Like we started with titles, with AI for titles,
Yeah.
and then we got all the way to images. Like, how unreal is that?
I can't. I mean, it's going to happen, but I can't believe how I don't think anybody's even doing it yet.
Right, right. And they probably it'll take some time for adaptation to happen, but man, it's crazy.
Well,
It's
I think the
crazy.
biggest thing it's going to save us from is Vero and IP, issues,
Right.
is really, a biggest thing because a lot of that is just coming up with the same images. And, when we're different, and let's be honest, when somebody's scrolling through and they see 15 ads of the same pictures and yours sticks out, I just think that it's got to make a difference down the road.
100%. I did a sample size of only 600 listings. Within a
Yeah.
week, 4 of them sold.
Yeah, and I think it takes a little time too for Google and stuff to pick up those listings. So, I usually wait a week before anytime I'm testing something to really see if it's working or not.
Oh, 100% it works. Like the only question about it would be how do we what's the right prompt to use to give us the maximum result? It's unquestionable at this point. There's gonna be a prompt that's like if you figure out the right 10 sequence of words, your results are gonna like 5x, right? We
Yeah, and
know
I think the prompt will be different per product. Let's say I'm selling a kitchen item and I have that prompt maybe is that item needs to be, somebody cooking. If I'm
exactly.
selling a photo frame, who knows? Maybe that prompt is obviously putting some kind of picture in it. So, yeah, I mean, the prompt will be per category, you would think, is what'll end up happening.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. And I think that like if you go in when you do play around with it, you can go in the docs and it shows it shows you how to set it up so that way you get a unique prompt per title. And if you need any help walking through this, let me know. I'll stay with you, and then we can kind of get your ideas. And you know, you've been doing this for so long, so you have the ideas.
Yeah.
wh- what's gonna convert? You get what I mean?
I'm stoked, man. I can't wait. So I just got to buy some time here to get to it.
Yeah,
No question.
that's
I'm
that's the
afraid because
hardest
I
part.
know as soon as I do it, that's what I'm going to do for like 30 hours straight. So
Right, it's fun. It's fun, and it's in the bulk lister too now.
no,
So
that's awesome. Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm telling you.
I
So
don't
so
think you got
that
anything to lose. So I'm assuming I haven't looked at it, but I'll go through the documentation. So we just putting in our own API in then, I'm assuming, right?
exactly, but it does
Yeah.
cost about
Awesome.
like I think 2 cents per image.
Yeah. So what?
Exactly, exactly. You list the whole store and then you have a whole bunch of unique products, as you said. And if you have the right prompt, uh, like I think that this feature itself gives like it raises the potential of any account like through the roof.
Yeah, yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it. Great job, man. Appreciate it. Yeah,
You bet.
and I don't know, maybe we'll just use ChatGPT to create some prompts. Be like, hey, do some deep research on, this kitchen item. What would make this image sell?
Right. You bet. So Dan, so how's your roadmap looking? Tell us about your plans moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to get really motivated when things are going pretty good. I mean, I hate to jinx myself, but look, I saw this software and how powerful it was, and I'm nothing but a testimonial of how great it is. And I do this very part time. Um, and I have a a bunch of VAs that work for me, so they're doing most of it at this point. So look, the biggest thing is it's an unlimited scalable business. So, I mean, that's what's so exciting about it. You can literally anytime you want to make more money, you just scale more. The way I
Right.
look at it, I was big into real estate my whole life, and every rental property I wanted to, make at least about $500 a month in net profit.
Hmm.
So, man, every eBay account is worth $500 to $1,500 net profit is the way that I look at it. So you want to go buy yourself a Bentley or something like that. Well, I just need to create another eBay account that's going to create, $1,000 a month. I mean,
Right.
there's just so few businesses in the world where you can scale it like that. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. I've been through all the struggles everybody on this call's been through, trust me. And all I can tell you is the struggles are worth it in the end. Um, you know, like Amazon has certainly been a big problem in the past. Once you kind of get over that hurdle, I mean, I probably have about 25 Amazon accounts at this point. Once you have that many accounts, now you can sleep at night and you just can keep scaling. So
Yep.
my roadmap is again, I just need to create more and more eBay accounts. So far, I've kind of gotten away with. I got 4 kids and a wife, and myself. So I've been able to use all family members for my eBay account. So I need to get on the ball and start making some of these uh,
Mhm.
eBay accounts that are completely separate. So I'll get there though.
Yeah. So Dan, let me ask you this, so recently like Mud kind of like he kind of reminded me about outsourcing everything, right? Instead of relying on yourself, like you already know what to do and everything, yeah? What would make your life easier to be able to scale the business like 10x?
Well, I think right now, there's really two things of the business. It's getting warmed up Amazon accounts and getting warmed up eBay accounts.
Hmm.
If that was something you could purchase or have more automated or something, that is my bottleneck. And that's just more of taking the mental time and energy to go through and do it. It's all doable, right? But if I could purchase an eBay account for $500 or $1,000 that was warmed up, I'd do it all day long because I know in 6 months, that's easily worth $500 to $1,000 a month in net profit. So
Right.
And then you got to have the Amazon accounts, to go with that. So, but those are the only two things. I mean, if you can scale both of those, there's no limit, you know, how much you can grow. Because I already have the virtual assistants in place, right? So they can just go out and hire more people and train them themselves. I don't even have to do that part. So it's really just, you know, getting more eBays
Right.
and more Amazons.
Right. So basically, like imagine like the only way that I see it working. So I'll tell you about my situation. Yeah, I have a friend, and I trained him on how to warm up eBay accounts and make them, and same with the Amazon accounts. So I don't even personally set up the computers anymore. Right. I call him and then I just tell him that hey, go ahead and set this up, and then he goes ahead and does all the manual IT work.
But yeah, what was that phone number again?
Right. Right. I'm telling you, I trained the guy to do it, and
Yeah,
then I just
yeah,
give him like a percentage of the profits that I get for whatever he
yeah.
set up. So that way he's incentivized to keep going with it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
That may
I
listen. That is the smartest thing you can do. I mean, everything about all life to make big money is all about leverage. My saying my whole life as I build businesses, you real business, real money comes from eventually building something that is not directly tied to hours of your day. Sure, you might work your ass off and take hours and hours and hours to get things set up, but ultimately, you want things to run that are not ultimately tied to hours of your own day.
Mhm. Yeah, you bet. You know what my real bottleneck for all of this is? Like I have the idea to be able to um like I've already done it, train somebody to go through it. But what my real bottleneck for all of this is like the training, right?
Yeah.
It takes time to train somebody to go through this process, yeah? So I think and we have like a whole bunch of documents, but they're pretty scrambled right now. Right. Even our VA training process, like the way that I do it, is my VA, if I hire somebody new, they kind of shadow my current VAs and they train them. Right. But the real way that I'm thinking about this is if there was, like an academy, like if you know how universities have somebody goes gets their degree and then right after they become a trained worker to work at X so and so corporation in that same kind of mindset, like I understand why universities did what they did, right? These businesses, these companies, they needed skilled labor and they needed a way to train somebody. So if we can create that middle ground where somebody can go through the training and by the end of it they become like skilled technicians to go ahead and create Amazon accounts, create eBay accounts, then we would be able to like maybe you just find an IT guy, tell him to follow the course, come to your house, pay him $500, and you just follow the roadmap.
Well,
You
dude,
get
you've
what I
got
mean?
enough material. You've got enough material there. Why don't you run it through not just an LLM, not an AI? You really need to run that through an AI, agent,
Hmm.
and input the entire course and have it create a course for you. The other one that might be able to do that really good for you would be Notebook LM. That way you can feed it up to I think 300 different sources and have it create the training directly through that, and I don't know if you're even asking that, but if you feel like you need to get it cleaned up, you've already got all the raw material. And ChatGPT and all this, they have study mode now too, that you say, look, here's all the course material, run this person through it with examples and have them, create, testing and the whole 9 yards. I mean, with
Hmm.
AI, that's man, it can do it all for you and train them how they need to be trained.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I totally get that. Um, I I didn't try with Notebook LM, so maybe it'll work better. But I just feel like the knowledge we have is so specialized sometimes. Like I wanna either way, we're gonna have to do some quality control to make sure that that training is good. But it's as you said, if that training can be established, right? Not just for ourselves, but like you could just throw somebody into that loop, right? Wait a week and then by the end of it, tell them to do whatever. Like I feel like that's the way to scale the
Well, and
business.
I think you probably have everything you need to run the eBay accounts. Let's be honest. That part is pretty well established. So if I could suggest anything, is exactly how you're doing these trainings to run eBay, but really a completely separate course, how to create and warm up an eBay account is a completely separate course that I could give that to a VA or somebody that I'm like, don't worry about everything else. I don't want you to worry about Sniper. We're not doing anything. All I want you to do is watch this course, and all this course material is only about warming up new eBay accounts, how to create them, yada, yada, yada. And then, even the same thing with Amazon accounts. That
Yeah,
entire course is 100% how to set up and create and warm up Amazon accounts, and that's all your job is. And here's the course that you concentrate on that is only for that.
yeah, no, I think that's a great idea. So my biggest challenge to do that, and frankly the reason I haven't done it yet, is because we're like the priority list, right?
Yeah, I get it.
Like
Yeah.
the time to do it is like I'm suffering from time, yeah. So that it's but that so I think that would make a lot of sense would be maybe we just r round up all the experienced guys here and then we kind of like divide the workload to make that training so that way we can feed somebody through that loop
Well,
and
here's
then
what I would do if I was in your position.
yeah.
And with the power of AI right now, you literally can record or put in these Zoom recordings and have it create the training out of that. So, if it was me, I would, get my top 5 people and say, look, we're going to do a Zoom at 8 o'clock. And this Zoom is only going to be focused on how to create Amazon accounts and warm them up. We're all going to speak. We're all going to put our input in. We're all going to put our experience in. And we're going to have a 2 hour Zoom on that. And then I would literally feed that into an AI agent or an AI and say, look, clean that all up and make a course out of it. And I think
Yeah,
you would have it. And I think it would be the same thing. Then you're going to do another call with your top 5 and say, look,
it's
we're
a
going to
great
do a
idea.
2 hour call only on warming up eBay accounts, all your experience, how to create an LLC, how you did it, the bank accounts you use, the phone numbers you use, the names, the whole 9 yards. Everybody, is going to put their input in. You feed that whole thing into AI and it'll absolutely clean it up and make a course out of it for you. That's how I would suggest doing it.
Beautiful. So let me ask you this, would you join me on one of those calls?
Dude, you don't have to ask, man. I'm there for you, of course.
Awesome,
Absolutely.
dude. Awesome, dude. So I'm gonna call Rory and some of the other older guys, like who's been scaling, and then we'll just let's do that with the intention, two intentions that I want out of this, yeah. One, to train people to kind of go through creating the Amazon accounts and eBay accounts. Those will be two separate calls. And then third, um, like what I really want the most is, at this point, what I realized that so just so you know, like the older Jonathan I mentioned in the other call, he actually passed away recently.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.